Hello, everybody. Amazing day to everyone tuning in to Coach's Corner. Always a pleasure and honor to share this amazing material with everyone. And happy Easter to all those that celebrate, and great day to everyone. And, feel free. We're going to have an amazing conversation, but amazing stories will be shared, I'm sure. I tried my best to share some props last week. If you missed last week's replay, just go back and watch that, as well as all the other episodes that we had as well. So feel free to, drop comments, engage with us, ask questions, and also importantly as well, reach out to any one of us, especially if you see this material helping you and you really want to make some positive shifts in your life, because we're all here to support you. As you can tell, we have amazing color backgrounds going on today, and just the whole pastel, everything. Look at my shirt, look at look at Paul's tie. The flowers in the background, we're glowing. Look at Lou over there. We're glowing. We're all glowing. So my name is Jamel Matias. I'm a certified mindset success coach. Basically, my brand is Believe in the Unseen. So it's all about believing in yourself, believing in that dream, believing in that goal, that it's ready for you, and also leading yourself to it as well. And I help you guide you to that. And my purpose is to reveal the potential that's already there within you and help guide you to your truest desires. So I'll pass it to my amazing colleague, Paul.
Thank you, Jamel, and good morning. And yes, happy Easter if you're celebrating Easter wherever you are. Happy Sunday, happy Easter. My name is Paul Wooters. I'm from Burlington, Ontario, and I am a mindset success coach, a Procter Gallagher consultant. I'm an author, a speaker, adventure traveler, but it wasn't always like this. I was setting goals. I seemed to be doing the work, but I just seemed stuck. And that's why I've dedicated my life to helping you through this amazing transformational program that Bob Proctor created, helping you achieve your most elusive personal and professional goals. And it's not through a system. It's by helping you really understand your mind and how your mind works and getting out of your own way so that you can create the life that you want. And I'm going to pass it over to my friend way over in Sweden, Alicia.
Hi, thank you, Paul, and happy Easter to everybody. My name is Alicia Espinosa. I am a mindset and values coach, and I help people to create a life that feels good on the inside and not just looks good from the outside, because sometimes we are chasing money, we are chasing career and everything, but from the inside is empty, even if we have everything from the outside. So to create a life that is in alignment with your values. Lou.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us. If you're catching the replay, thank you for being here as well. So my name is Lou Perica. I am a success mindset coach as well. And I help growth-minded women who just want more out of life without the guilt, without the hustle, to rediscover their own magnificence so they can be, do, and have a life of prosperity and meaning. Jamel.
All right. Today's topic. Oh, this is great. Again, feel free to drop some comments or questions right here live, because you're not alone. As you can tell, we're here to help you. And I was really thinking about our past episode where we talked about this word that sounds kind of scientific. Maybe it does derive from science. Praxis. And what we're doing today is diving deep into an article about pretty much walking your talk. Having the integration of belief with behavior. And this speaks so many levels, especially for me as well, because I didn't realize I believed one thing consciously, but I had an opposite belief subconsciously. And before we dive into that, does anybody kind of want to share a little bit about how you can believe one thing in your mind, but work against yourself subconsciously, not really believing that something is for you? Anybody want to kind of speak on that, or any thoughts come to mind?
Yeah, I can say that I am in a process to write a goal, and it had been. This is the first time I feel that this had been very hard for me to to find something that is really, inspiring me. And yesterday I was doing exercise, and then I came to the realization that the problem was that in my intellectual, this is a piece of cake. I have done that before, big goals and so, but when I started to go through the beliefs that I have about that goal, it was like, oh my gosh, I have so many beliefs that say the opposite of what my intellect is saying to me. Intellect say, yeah, this is not, this is but because of my baggage that I have from when I was a child, it was some unseen beliefs that I needed to address in order to start to believing that this is possible for me. And I still not there, but I am in a good way to to discover that.
I'll piggyback on that. Thank you, Alicia. So this is why we do these things every week. This is why when we work with clients, we are bringing them information that's just not taught. And it's it's really quite a simple process. It's not always easy, but it is a simple process when you understand just how magnificent you are. So when we have a belief in our conscious thinking mind, it makes sense. Yeah, I could probably do that. But it goes against the deep-seated belief in your subconscious mind where your image lays. Your self-image is saying, well, you can't do that. You've never done that before. Every time you've tried something, you've either, failed or you quit. So that's the image and the pattern that is in the subconscious mind. So you can believe as much as you want in the thinking mind, in the conscious mind. This is why we're here every week. We must shift that belief that is in the subconscious mind and build up that belief. So now the new programming understands, oh yeah, this is who we are. This is who we are. And we have that when we believe it up here, but not here. There's that imposter syndrome. You feel like, oh my gosh, this is really who I am. But it's, you are whoever you want to be. But you have to understand you get to create that. Just because you have this self-image that you've had for decades, that does not mean it's a prison sentence. You get the key to set yourself free. But if you don't know this material, if you don't understand how the conscious and the subconscious mind works, if you don't understand universal laws, if you don't understand that you are a spiritual being, there is perfection within each and every one, then you're going against, makes it so much more difficult. This is why people are constantly trying to gather information. But when you have the right information that never changes, regardless of what technology is doing, this information never changes because it's the truth of who you are. This is when you can start to truly believe on a deep level that what you desire is possible. Paul.
Wow. Yes, that was great, Lou. Powerful statement. And that's so true. Now, we've talked before about the knowing doing gap. So despite knowing what to do, we have these deeply ingrained beliefs or paradigms in our subconscious that are fighting, this internal tug of war goes on, and those are, deeply engraved paradigms. They are our habitual ways of thinking, our habitual ways of feeling and behaving that operate, below the level of conscious awareness. Like, we know what to do, but we don't do it. And even when someone consciously knows what action to take, that paradigm, that programming of fear, self-doubt, limitation, procrastination, that creates resistance. So, I think we talked a little bit like last week, we're going, or we want to go, but we've got the brakes on. We're driving the car, but we still have the brakes on. So we're creating this resistance, even though we know what to do. That underlying belief system that we have in our subconscious, until we understand that, clearly understand that we can change our programming, then we're going to stay stuck. And we sometimes can't identify that, but that awareness that we create, that we learn through this is so amazing, so powerful. Thank you for bringing that up, Lou. And I'm going to see if Jamel has something to add. Jamel.
Yeah, this is such a powerful, like I say every time, what we share is powerful material. And on the flip side, for people that are taking action, you can still have a limiting belief in your subconscious where you're taking massive action, but you don't believe that something is for you, or you have some type of opposite. Remember the law of polarity. There's left, right, up, down, hot, cold, inside out. So there's always an opposite to the belief. So if you have a limiting belief and you're taking action or doing things outside your comfort zone and not seeing the result, that means you're not in harmony with what you desire. So whenever you're not in harmony, that's disharmony. So integration praxis is the integration of belief with behavior. So meaning your behavior, obviously your body takes certain actions. Notice how I'm expressing myself with my hands. So I believe what I'm saying. I believe in this material. I know what it does for people. And that's the belief in itself. So I believe it consciously and I believe it subconsciously. So you can be doing things without believing that, whatever goal is that you want to achieve or that you can manifest. And I wanted to share my screen and dive in a little bit with the article that we're referencing here. Let me make sure it shares. And this is called, like we mentioned earlier, Walk Your Talk with Praxis, right? And Praxis is the integration of belief with your behavior, right? So why behave in a certain way towards your goal and not really believe it? So it says, I was reading here. Let's start right here. It says, today, success has been a subject, one that can be studied, understood, and enjoyed by anyone, including all our viewers here, right? In the past, success was perceived by many as something that was inherited, a lifestyle a very select minority enjoyed. So successful people were generally viewed as being lucky. Imagine that paradigm. Most of us thinking, oh, they got lucky, right? So the beautiful truth is that successful people are not now, nor ever have been lucky. This is an orderly universe. This is what I want to point out here. This is an orderly universe. An orderly universe. Sorry, I don't have my my trackball here I'm using. So anyway, this is an orderly universe of which you and I are a part. And that order, which is an expression of divine law, leaves no room for luck. And, Dr. Werner von Braun stated, the laws of this universe are so precise that we have no difficulty building a spaceship, sending people to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. So for you to enjoy a successful, well-balanced life in our fast-moving world, you must align your mind and body with those laws. And I'm sure everyone here knows what those laws are. Anybody want to kind of piggyback off of that?
Well, I was just talking about this in my public speaking class, that everything in the universe operates by law. So if one person can be successful, what that means is everyone has the potential to be successful because everything operates by law. We are all the same underneath. We have different flesh suits, as I say, so we can distinguish one another, right? But underneath, we talked about confidence. We talked about we are really risk takers, right? We have an imagination, the will, the ability to think, right? Perception, on and on. We all have these things. We have emotions. We all have the ability to speak, to move our hands, to move our feet. We all have these things. So everything, we're really by nature all the same. It's just how are we using our mind? How are we using our beliefs? Do we even evaluate our beliefs? I know I never did until I started studying this material. I never questioned my beliefs. Everyone's doing it. It's what my mother says, what my father said. That's what my community said. I never questioned them. But a belief has a vibration. Every belief has a vibration, and that vibration sets the body in motion or not in motion. So when you believe something, right, you're doing it all the time. You believe something, you take the action. But if you believe you cannot do it, the body holds back, right? You're almost paralyzed. You go into procrastination. You have this, in your conscious mind, you want to do it, right? Just like Alicia has the little devil and angel props.
Don't spoil it.
And it's like oil and water. They're not in alignment. So you don't have green light, green light, green light. You have maybe whatever, yellow light, red light, green, whatever, but they're not all green. Just like Paul said, you want to go, you got your foot on the gas, but you also have the emergency brake on and you don't even realize it. So every belief has a vibration. This is why I think in the very first lesson, we have people evaluate their beliefs. Just question, why do I believe that? Where did I learn that? Is it true? And as you start to unravel these beliefs and say, well, is that belief serving me? Is this what I really want? Is this belief going to help me live the life that I desire? And if not, simply flip it. It's really just the opposite. Mm-hmm. But if you don't know this, you're driving with your foot on the gas and you don't even realize you have the emergency brake on. This is why we're all so passionate about doing this. On Easter Sunday, we're committed to share this information because the power is within you. It's within everyone. I remember hearing, if there were, we all know that flamingos are pink, right? Everyone knows that flamingos are pink. But if we saw a green flamingo, that means, not all flamingos are pink. There is a potential for a green flamingo. See, it's just what we're conditioned to believe and think. So if one person can be successful, and of course there's been millions of people, that means the potential is within everyone, every child. I was listening to Michael Beckwith. Oh my gosh, love him, right? And he said, it's such a great question. He says, what was my mind like before it was conditioned?
Mm.
What a fabulous question, right? I've been thinking about that all the time now. What was my mind like prior to all the conditioning? And it's exactly what we're sharing with everyone. Your potential, no one even knows what your potential is. We have no idea what you're capable of. But that's such a powerful question. What was my mind like before the conditioning?
Yeah, and it's why when I set my goals, I ask myself, what are my beliefs about this goal? You know, it's like everything, like good and bad, you know, or there is no good and bad, but there is the law of relativity says that there is not good and bad. It just is. But to be able to like to spot all the beliefs that I have and ask myself what you say, Lou, is this belief helping me to reach that goal? And those beliefs that we have, it shape how we see the world. And I love my frames, because depending on the beliefs that we have, we see the world different. And it's why when we decide to set a goals, I cannot go with my frame of how I see the world and ask Lou if this goal is good or not, because her frame of life is different because of her beliefs. And if I ask Paul, and then it's totally different. So they may say, but this is so crazy. Yeah, according to your frame, but not according to my frame. So it is very important to think about that our beliefs shape also how we see the world. The glass is how we see the world, or the frame how we see the world. So and as Lou say, ask self if this belief that you have is helping you. But the thing is that sometimes we defend our beliefs
Oh, yeah.
because we want to stay safe. You know, we are afraid to lose things, or we don't want to expand or uh, comfort zone. We want to stay safe there. So we are so specialists also defend our beliefs,
So
even
true.
if they make us stay in the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really
Yeah.
good. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that when Lou brought up that it's a really important point, and it gets into a little bit deeper in this article, is examining our own beliefs, what our belief system is. And we talk about that when we deal with clients and we're trying to help them establish clarity on their goal. Examine your beliefs. And later on in this article, it says, you write down all your belief system and the reasons for your beliefs, and you'll be surprised what some of them are. It's really quite astounding, right? The reasons why we have this programming, these beliefs that we have. And such a really cool question that Lou brought up, what was my mind like before I was programmed? And we talked also previously about positive thinking, and similarly, like being in praxis, right? That means aligning your actions with your beliefs and your knowledge. It's when what you know and what you believe and what you do are in harmony. And we spoke previously about positive thinking is a half truth, because it's not in harmony with what we're doing. And real, true transformation is going to happen when not just when we understand this concept intellectually, but when we're actually demonstrating it in our daily choices and behaviors. And I came across this really good quote the other day, and it said, someone asked me, if someone followed you around for a week, would they believe you're serious about your goals?
Mhm.
And that, that really hit me. So many people know, they know what to do. They tell you they believe in personal growth and abundance, in the power of thought. Oh yeah, they do that. But their actions tell a different story, right? Their actions tell the completely different story. I know that, I've been guilty of that in the past. And as Lou said, studying this material and creating that awareness, it's just so powerful. And you'll see that Praxis, it's that bridge between theory and practice. It's where your potential becomes your reality. Jamel.
Wow, that's an amazing quote, Paul. Thanks for bringing that up. We might have to make you the quote guy every week. That was so powerful. Yeah, it's like, when you're not taking the action, and when you don't really believe it, and you can never outperform the belief. And I was really thinking about reevaluation. So when you reevaluate your belief system, basically what all of us is talking about, when you reevaluate, looking at, why do I believe this? Where did this belief come from? And would shifting my belief about this thing help me? These are powerful questions to visit for yourself. And don't dwell on why you believe it. You don't want to put energy into what's going to hold you back. Focus on what will move you forward. You figure it out. Oh, do I have a sound belief for this? Oh, I guess not. Well, I believe that my whole life. And where your belief system actually, it starts at an early age with your paradigm. You believe what you're capable of doing. You look at other people that may have more money than you or more successful. And it even says that, similar to the beginning of the article, how you think they're lucky. Remember, the word luck is actually, it was invented to define unknown causes. So meaning the word was created just to say, hey, we don't know what else is out there, the universal laws and how everything shapes everything. And it's like, oh, they're just lucky. It's a simple way of putting aside without really asking yourself, what is going on here? Right. So you can't really, you can believe in things that'll hold you back, or believe in things that'll move you forward. So remember, either way, you are right. If you believe that you can't, you're right. If you believe that you can, you're right. Yeah. So really, really think about that. And that reminded me of when Paul read that, because it was a quote that really spoke to me as well. And let's talk a little bit about something that is huge in the article there. It's where are we here? Let's share real quick. Air condition turned on. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let's see here. So they talk about education, right? So education comes from the Latin word educo, meaning to induce, to develop or draw out from within. Education is about developing your God-given powers, demonstrated by what you do, not what you know. We have been recognizing and rewarding people for what they know, not what they do. Unfortunately, one lie generally leads to another. The second big lie that many people believed and integrated with their behavior deals with our work. So there's two pretty ingrained things in most people. And I just kind of wanted to touch on that little part there about the essence of what education is. And we've been kind of conditioned, we've been conditioned to remember things and be rewarded based on what we remember, but not to do. And obviously you become when you do, right? Did anybody kind of want to touch on this? Because this is a big, big aspect here that I think it'll help a lot of people.
I'll go. So I know some people that have degrees falling off their business cards. Their whole life seemed to be, get more degrees, more education, to know more. And yet, with all that knowledge, they're struggling because their self-identity is really kind of a student who gathers information. That's what they've been training their mind, always gather information, gather information. So now when it comes to putting themselves in action for whatever it is, the career that they choose, whatever they were studying to be, they know themselves as a student, and acclimating into the doing part can be very challenging because that's not the image that the subconscious mind holds. I use the example too, because I work with a lot of real estate agents, and let's just say that their goal is to be a top agent. Your goal is your identity. You become that goal, meaning it's not just when you go into the office, for an example, and whatever, you make phone calls and you do follow-ups and things like that. And then when you go home, you go, whew, and then you just become your old self. When you believe that your goal is your identity, when you have stepped into her energy, you walk, talk, and behave like her always. When you're meeting and greeting people, you walk into a room confidently. You shake someone's hand confidently. You have a conversation confidently because you are that goal. You are that top agent. And this is where the belief, not just like, oh, I'll just do it when I'm in the office and have to make some calls and follow-ups and things like that. You become her. You step into that energy of being her. But this needs to be consistent. This is why repetition, constant spaced repetition of a new idea, because we're introducing a new idea. You have to be in love with that idea, because once, if you don't see results, quickly, because we're so used to boom, 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 you give up on it. So was that truly something you truly desired, was to be a top agent? Is that truly what you wanted? Or it just seems logical because you're in real estate? So this is why it's very important to be emotionally connected to whatever it is that you desire. And let's just say it's a big house. You have a big family and a lot of living, maybe multiple generations, and you truly want to have a big home. Well, you don't become a house, right? But you become that person that does have that big home. She walks and talks like that. She starts to behave as if she has. So when she does this, whatever work she's in, whatever field she's in, her whole attitude changes, because she's not thinking, oh my God, I got to go home in that tiny little house and all those people are in there. She's coming from, I live in a big, comfortable home. Everyone's happy. She shows up differently. Her attitude is different. Her energy is different. She starts attracting clients that are on that vibration, instead of, oh my God, I just have to do this because I have to get a bigger house. I just can't go back to that home with the tiny, there's too many people. You step into the shoes of it already being. It's already done, and you will shift your energy. But this is something you must accept and allow the universe. This is one of my new things, and I love it. I am allowing the universe to spoil me. That's been my new thing that I've been writing. I am allowing the universe to indulge me in a beautiful life. So that lowers my resistance. I'm opening up the valve, just like the kink in the hose, right? I'm opening up to allow the good to come in. And I believe with every cell of my body that the universe is going to take care of. I have to do my part. I understand that. But I'm working together with the universe that's created everything. We are co-creating together. And I am allowing that power to flow to and through me. It kind of went off another.
That's great. I love it.
I
There's a
want, I
lot.
want,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Alicia.
Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
Okay,
Oh.
there's so much to extract from that. So much to extract from that, Lou. Wow, there's so much information. And, to going back to what Jamel first said about the education and also what Lou said about people who are just going after degrees and more letters behind their name. You can look at people who all take the same course, come out with the same certification, come out with the same degree, and they all get different results. Like, wouldn't it make sense that they would be getting the same results, but they don't? And it's so interesting that all these articles and all these lessons that we've been talking about, they're so intertwined and interconnected, because something that Lou suggested was, step into that role. Before you can do something, you must be something. You must be that person. And that ties back into what we talked about before, is our own self-image. What do we believe about ourselves? So you have to really, as Lou said, it's, the spaced repetition. You have to have a new belief system about yourself. And then you have to be that person before you can do something. You have to be that person, step right into that role. That's really, really popped out at me as you were talking there. And I'm going to hand it back over to Alicia, because I know she has something really important to say.
No, I came what you say now about the self-image, what we believe on ourselves, and connecting to what Lou saw about the roles, because I have many years. This is at the beginning when I started my coaching business, like 12 years ago. It was a doctor. He contacted me because he was new from he did the exam, everything, and he was going to the job, to start job. And he said, I don't know what happened with me, because when I was in the school, I was getting A's every time. And, I feel confident. I know that I am a good doctor. And, and then he started working, and he started comparing himself to people that been at the work, like, 40 years, 20 years. And he says, I don't know who I am. I say, yeah, but you are not your role. First, your role was student of the for a doctor, the medical doctor, and then now you start to work and you are a new doctor. This is your role. But if you attach your self-image to your role, every time something happens with that role, then the self-image will disappear, because you are attaching too much to that role, and we are not roles. So for me, it's very important to who do I want to be. And I have a whiteboard here with all my words, but I also have in my card where I have what I want to be. Every time I remember myself, I want to be present. I want to be enthusiastic about what I do. And I have to have courage. And when I am connecting with other people, I want to be inspiring with them. I want to listen to them, to be also present with them, and not to judge people. And also the behavior that I want to have is the discipline of focus in my goals, of focus in what what I have, a structure. This is what I'm focused on to get to my goals, and I remember in my I put alarm, so when the alarms go, this word come up, and I say, "Oh, I am disciplined. Oh no, I have been doing this and this and that. All this." So we need to think that what we want is not just the title or the, as Lou said before, the thing. It's like, who do you want to be, who do you need to be in the, to get that goals, to achieve that goal. And I was talking to a client and said, yeah, but then I'm not feeling that I am good enough now. Yeah, but it's not that. It's not that you are not good enough. It's like you are discovering who you truly are. What, Lou, you said before, what was my mind prior to the conditions? That is that you are, when you are working with yourself, it's not that you want to be better than that person or that you are not good enough at the moment. It's that you are discovering yourself. Who you was before you were programmed. That is that we are going to, because so we don't say that people, oh, you are not good yourself. You are good. By working with yourself, it's like discovering who you really are.
Oh, wow. My intuition is going like so fast right now. Yeah, Alicia, you hit some buttons there, Who am I? Right? Who are we? I'm not my name. If you were told your name once in your life, would you remember it? Right? As a child, no, you won't. I'm not my hand. I don't say I'm hand. Right? I'm not my head. I'm not my skin. I'm not my shirt. Who am I? And for every viewer that watches this, who are you? Right? I am my beliefs. What do you believe for yourself in your results? Remember, we are spiritual beings. We have an intellect. This is what we're doing here on camera. We're giving you different material, knowledge, right? And we live in a physical body. So our results is what we believe. What do you believe that you can achieve? Whatever you conceive and believe, you can achieve. Where does the conceiving happen? In your conscious mind. I didn't bring my stick person if anybody wants to show that. But what you put there, what you plant there for yourself in your conscious mind. Thank you, Lou. There it is.
Oh, I don't know.
Hold it over your face. Yeah, hold it over your body. See? See? That's every person. That's you, that's me. And at the top, there's your conscious, and the bottom is your subconscious, where your heart is. So your beliefs are there where your heart is, and the body is down there at the bottom. We live in this physical body. So your belief system, if it hasn't changed or you haven't even stopped to reevaluate it, nothing changes. Going through this material myself with clients and for myself as well, I'm reevaluating everything. I'm like, wow, it's uncomfortable to, I'm having fun doing it. But in the beginning, I was like, this is uncomfortable, right? Thinking I'm not enough, right? The inferiority thing. Like, where do these beliefs come from? We're one of God's highest forms of creation. We're unlimited beings with unlimited potential. But guess who's stopping us? Guess who's stopping us? Your own belief system about who you are. So I remember this beautiful story. I think it was John Canary on You Were Born Rich. And he said there was a little boy at a festival and he was looking at the balloon. And he was like, the guy was blowing up these balloons. He blew up a green balloon and he let it fly up in the air. He's putting helium in him. A little red balloon, he filled that up, let it go, it's flying up in the air, and a yellow balloon, and he filled up a black balloon, and he let that go up in the air, and all of them flew up in the air, right? And the young boy said, I think it was an African-American boy, and he said, oh, no, he asked the guy, he said, can black balloons fly? And the man that was filling up the balloons, he said, it's not what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside.
Yeah.
That's an extremely powerful story.
Mm-hmm.
So that relates to everyone here. What's on the inside? What is your belief about yourself? And like I said at the beginning, Alicia touched on some very powerful things there. And I know, Spirit speaking through me for someone to hear that. This is why we want to help you. This is why mentorship is vital to your growth. Or you can keep believing things that'll hold you back with the limited amount of money that you have, limited amount of lifestyle that you're having. But this is not what you're meant to do or become. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now.
I just realized something, and it's so fitting for today being Easter. Most of us have heard the phrase, your cross to bear in life, right? So when you think of it, when we are born, babies are perfect, right? This is before their conditioned mind, right? They're confident, they're curious, they're risk takers. They don't care about, they're loving, they're not worried what people are going to think. But as they start to grow and experience different things and record everything, this now becomes your cross to bear. Because if everything was perfection, well, what's the point? What's the point? We may as well be squirrels, right? So when you start to understand that whatever you've been handed in life, that is for you, that's your cross to bear, meaning this is your kicks. These are things that you will learn from, overcome, grow from, because the pivotal part is self-evaluation, right? Self-enlightenment. This is why when people get older, they become more wiser, because their awareness is growing and their understanding. All that stuff I went through just got me here. And they don't take it as personally anymore. You're not attached to the falls like you used to be, as they're failures. No, they were just falls. That's all they were. I got back up. I chose something different. A new opportunity opened, a new door of opportunity where possibility was waiting for me on the other side. But you start to see the patterns, just like Steve Jobs says, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. This is why older people have so much wisdom, because they're not in it. When you're raising kids or going to school and starting a career, typically you're in it. But as you get older and become more wiser, you're getting out of it, and you can look back. Like when I hear people that are, fairly young in their marriage, young children, raising kids, all the ups and downs, I can now laugh at it. It's like, oh yeah, well that's part of the course. That's what it is. That's what a marriage is. That's what raising a family is. But I can look at it and kind of laugh looking back. But when I was in it, it was like quicksand at times. Right? So when you start to understand, that's just part of your journey. These are your experiences to learn from, to grow from. That's your cross to bear. These are all the things that you're going to experience during this lifetime. And as you get older, you can share your experiences to other people, although everyone's going to have their very own experience, just like Alicia does with the picture frames. My experiences are going to be very different from Alicia. Maybe some of them are similar, But we're coming from two different worlds, right? She was born in, where were you born, Alicia?
In Panama.
In Panama, okay? So her languages and foods and culture and beliefs are going to be very different from mine.
Mhm.
But we can share. This is what community is so wonderful. Because even though we may be experiencing different things, at the root core, we all really want love, joy, meaning, impact at the end of the day. But that's how we've experienced it through all the ups and downs, right? I don't even know where I went with that. Just something you said triggered. But that's where I went.
That was intuition. That was spirit.
Oh, my cross to bear being Easter. Okay.
Paul, you wanted to say something? I don't hear.
Paul,
You're
you're
muted.
You're muted, Paul.
Sorry. No,
There
go
you
ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
What was the second big lie there? Oh, security.
Yeah. Yeah, the second big lie was basically, I didn't go there. We can brush on it, what they mentioned here. It's basically here. We talked about what education actually is. And the second big lie, the promise corporations made was not viable. See, basically, you give us performance and we will give you opportunity for growth and development. So that's the sound idea. Basically, do, right? Rather than no. So it is in harmony with the laws of the universe by becoming. So integrate that belief with your behavior and you must win. So basically you're becoming. Whenever you do more or do things outside your comfort zone, you are becoming that version. So that's basically the second big lie was, basically having, I didn't want to go too deep because it's pretty tough there, the way it's worded.
Well, job security, right?
Yeah.
You feel that you've been there 40 years but if you get fired, all of a sudden your whole identity was attached.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it because I'm much older. So I've seen a lot of people lose their job that they've been with this company for many, many years, and they become so bitter. They become so bitter because that company stripped away something from them, their security, their sense of security. And then what we realize is only you can have security within yourself, right? So if that does happen, you do lose a job or something, know that, all right, well, a new door is opening for me. Something better is going to come along. But when you get so resentful and bitter because you believed your security was in this job, it's really quite powerful because I've seen it. I've seen it many times with people that they get very bitter over that belief that their security was tied in with their company, with their 401k, with their bank account.
Yeah.
It's really quite interesting what we believe will make us secure. And typically it's money. It's typically money. That if we believe we have an X amount in the bank, that we can breathe a lot more easier. It's really quite fascinating.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead, Alicia.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it was very powerful because it doesn't matter how justified you feel, if you're in that category of being let go, because you're attaching, like Luce said, you're attaching that identity, who you are, to that job or that corporation. And all of a sudden what you're doing, you're focusing on things that are negative, especially when you're holding in that resentment and that pain, and you're letting yourself grow. You're not letting yourself move to the future that you desire by putting energy into something in the past that doesn't serve you anymore. And you keep bringing negative to the present, right?
Mm.
Especially if you don't see that everything is happening for you, not to you. And that's a different perception to hold on to probably the rest of your days, where you can utilize that. Everything is molding you, and see it that way.
Yeah.
And especially those times when you can't see it, where it seems like the world is beating you up. It's just making you. It's helping you become the highest version that you're meant to be. And, you know, in tragedy, that's why there's good in everything. You see the good. And when you look for it, you'll find more good. You'll see that, oh, I did that. I went through that. I can go through anything. You know, you look back and you're like, wow, I didn't know you went through all that. And you just smile on camera. Wow, you're a special guy. I know certain things made me to who I am for the purpose that I'm here to you know, live through.
It's part of the process. It's
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alicia, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I wanted just to say what that we talked before about the role. When you attach your identity to a role, then if you lose your job, your identity will be disturbed, because you think that you are your job, because you have that job. So it is something that is very important to think that you are not your roles. I before I help an organization that they work with people that lose their job, and they feel so bad about their self. And I say, but you're not your roles. At the moment, you know, life is like, you know, the law of rhythm, you know, that is like up and down, up and down. And when you think that everything should go up, and when suddenly something go down, then you lose your mind. And so, you know, just like, oh my gosh. But the rhythm is like, there is a positive, this negative, up and down, low and high all the time. And just be in mind that if you lose your role as a employee, then you are not losing yourself. It's just your role you are losing. So, yeah.
Thank you, Lisa. There's a line. Oh, there's a line here at the bottom of that page, that second big lie, that really jumps out to me, and I think it's really, really crucial. And that is, we are all responsible for where we are and the results we are experiencing. If the results are not to your liking, you should examine your beliefs. And that is really, really summarizes this article really, really well, because no matter how hard you push, if deep down you don't believe you're worthy of more, your results will reflect the belief that you have. And when you learn to shift how you see yourself, then everything is going to change. The results, the confidence, the life, but it all starts within, right? It starts within. It starts within our heart. It starts within our mind. That really jumped out at me in this article. I really wanted to point that out as we start to wrap this up.
Yeah, it's a great, yeah, that's a great line. And
Yeah.
also, like Jamel was saying, we are not our name. We are not our body. We are not our mind. We are not our labels. Most people say, well, I'm a success mindset coach. I'm a mother. I'm a father. I'm a neighbor. I'm an American. I'm Swedish. I'm this and that. Those are just all labels. So this is why when people lose their job, part of their labels have been removed and they panic. So this is why when you understand these labels are just different roles that you are experiencing through the human experience. The spiritual being is experiencing these human-like roles, if you will, but you're not your role. Because when I was, I was a mother for whatever, 20 years, still am, but my role, um, what do I want to say? The description of my role changed when my kids became adults and moved, right? I've now became an empty nester, as we call it. So the role of being a mother shifted from what it was when I was raising children. But it doesn't mean there's less of me. It just means my role, there was less of my role and my label. But I'm not my label. What if I never became a mother? Is there less of me? If I never became a coach, is there less of me? No, there's just less labels and roles. So there's still me. I'm still that person, that being under an umbrella with all the labels raining down on me. So who is the person underneath that umbrella? And that's what we all help people to remember. Remember their magnificence and why they're here and why they're experiencing life the way they are, and how you can actually open different doors of opportunities and possibilities, but you have to make the choice and the decisions.
Yeah. Go ahead, Elisa.
No, that's good. I said that's good.
Yeah. A decision to reach out to one of us. There's your decision, right? Reach out to one of us to help you with this material and see if this could really move you forward to where you want to go. And I'm so glad Paul brought that up, that quote at the end of the article here. It really hammered home, and I just wanted to share this for everyone. It is well established and clearly documented that you believed an overabundance of lies with respect to who you are and what you are capable of doing. It's high time that you begin to tap into the beautiful truth that if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. You are a spiritual being, and as such have potential without limitation. You can improve every aspect of your life until your entire life is an open and obvious expression of your own inner beauty and limitless potential. Happiness, health, and prosperity are normal and natural states for you to experience. There should be no room for lack or limitation in your world. The only thing that stands between you and all the good that life can offer is a sound belief system that is in harmony with the laws of the universe. Combine that with the effective use and application of Praxis, and you got a winning combination. That was shared so well. I really wanted to make sure everyone heard that. And we want to help you with that belief system because we've been through it and we're going through it and we're reevaluating ourselves. And imagine being in that environment of growth together towards the future that you really want. So our call links are in the description of all the different platforms. Click on whoever you connect to. It doesn't matter. We're all here to serve you and help you. And drop some comments. Let us know whatever spoke to you today. Let us know what really spoke to you. And, I always love to see how this impacts your life in a positive way. Anybody else want to share anything on this beautiful day?
I'll just add one last thing, Jamel. Thank you very much for that wrap up. And that is that, your results will never rise higher than your beliefs or your self-image. But here's the good news. You can choose to rewrite that. You can choose to rewrite that. And you can start today.
Easter is a wonderful day to start.
Yes.
Right? Resurrection, rise, rise.
We look forward to meeting you and speaking to you, and rewatch this. You'll start seeing more in yourself that was already there. Bye, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you for joining
Bye.
us. Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.